pillow here.
This app is supposed to unmute automatically. But anyway, hey guys, what's up? It is your girl Alora Dannon, and I have my homies all here on the panto. I am so excited to see you guys. We had some technical difficulties, but we are back at it like a bad rash in a crack addict. Okay, we are here. We are here, guys. So we're just gonna jump right back in because, as you guys know, we're just live. Had some technical problems. Had to get off the live. Yeah, it was bad luck or something. It was bad juju. You weren't here.
It was because I wasn't here, man. I
didn't see your bald head reflecting off the light reflecting off your head, making me feel like
no. Go back to the first thing you said. Let's go and talk about that. Yes, I'm bald. Thank you.
I'm bald too. Oh, it's okay.
Anyhow, girl, we listen.
This is bald compared to what I've had. So,
baby girl, you gorgeous. We don't do bald. Like we do fine.
No hair grows there. No hair grows there. No hair grows
so
there.
I have a spot in my eyebrow. Wrong eyebrow. This eyebrow where no hair grows.
My eyebrow. Oh my god. That spot right there? Yeah, me too.
That spot, like.
Yeah, me too. You got the same.
Okay, guys. We are going to rein it back in, and we're going to get back on topic because we have burned up a lot of people's time. Okay.
Would your girlfriend slap a bitch if they said you look like G.I. Jane?
Oh, no. I laugh. I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to see it too.
Oh, okay.
Unlike him, I have a sense of humor.
Mute yourself, Shock. Just mute yourself.
I love it though.
They did that to me before on one of the other podcasts. I was whooping somebody's ass, and they was all in the chat, and I could see these motherfuckers because they forgot that I was the producer of the show, and they was like, "Oh my god, mute his mic, he's going crazy." I was like, "What the fuck?" All right.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, those are
trending pattern.
Those people, man. I just.
Oh, but okay.
When you real, they always silence the truth teller. That's all.
Anyway, go ahead. I'm tired.
Well, I don't want to listen. I don't want to silence any truth tellers over here. Okay, we ain't doing none of that. Yeah. I'm with it all, but I will throw out my opinions. Y'all feel whatever y'all feel. Y'all say what y'all got to say. Okay, just let's be respectful of each other, love on each other, and give each other, that direct love. Because sometimes love can come direct, and sometimes we don't like the way that direct love feels. But anyways, let's get into it. So over the weekend, actually, I believe it was maybe 2 weeks ago, a young man was killed. His name was Patrick Lyoya, and he was from the Congo, and he was killed in Grand Rapids, Michigan. He was 26 years old, and he got killed during a traffic stop. It's just something that you just don't get used to saying, because traffic stops are supposed to go so simple. But unfortunately, this one didn't. And so rather than tell you guys too much of what happened, I'm going to pull up 2 videos, and I'm going to have, it's 2 different views. So I'm going to let everyone gauge their feelings from these videos, and then we're going to get right into it. Okay. So let's get to it.
Video of the April 3rd incident shows the traffic stop, pursuit, and killing of the victim. 7 Action News reporter Jim Kurtzner is downtown with how the family is building a potential civil lawsuit.
Take a look. These are the diagrams from Dr. Warner Spitz. The attorneys for the family say this was not an accidental shooting, but rather an execution.
How this Grand Rapids police officer escalated a simple misdemeanor traffic stop into a deadly execution.
95-year-old Dr. Werner Spitz did an autopsy of the body of Patrick Lyoya on Saturday inside a Grand Rapids funeral home. The videos released by Grand Rapids police show about 3 minutes of resisting arrest. 2 attempts by the officer, who has not been named, to use a taser. Then pulls his gun and fires 1 shot.
A bullet wound of entrance. A typical bullet wound of entrance. And it went like this.
The doctor says the bullet lodged in the temple. Was this a sudden death. When would his life functions have stopped?
Sorry?
How quickly would his life functions have stopped
Seconds.
so he can come to a late
Less than seconds.
Less than seconds.
Yeah, well, he would die in seconds.
Get this, the video release shows a police dash cam at the beginning, the car turning around, then pursuing the car driven by Lyoya.
How did he know that Patrick tag registration wasn't valid?
Stay in the car!
Grand Rapids police say the probable cause for the traffic stop was an improper plate.
The plate doesn't belong on this car.
These attorneys suggest may have been racial profiling.
We have to investigate whether this is a classic DWB case, a driving while black case.
And they are investigating why the body cam stopped before the shooting and it restarted after. Police say it came off the officer's body. These attorneys say the stop button needs to be held down for 3 seconds.
I know what that suggests to me. You all are smart people. You can figure it out on your own. But again, that's one of the things we'll be looking at.
The attorneys say all of this does not mean a civil lawsuit is inevitable. They explain why next hour at 6. In downtown, Jim Kurtz.
Appears to walk away from the officer and then resist before running. Multiple videos, including from the officer's body camera, his dash cam, a cell phone, and a security camera, captured what happened next. The two appear to wrestle over control of the officer's taser. It deploys twice into the ground. Then, as this video shot by the car's passenger shows, while on top of Lyoya's back, the officer fires a single shot, striking Lyoya in the head. The Grand Rapids police chief released the video despite an ongoing investigation, saying the community needed to see what happened.
So a taser is not per se a deadly weapon. The taser is what would be known as an intermediate weapon.
Under Michigan law, an officer can use deadly force. They're not identifying the officer, but the 7-year veteran is on paid administrative leave pending the investigation. After the video release, hundreds gathered to demand justice. Lyoya, who was a father to 2 young daughters, was a refugee from the Democratic Republic of Congo. In a statement, attorney Ben Crump, who's representing the family, demanded charges against the officer, saying in part, the video clearly shows that this was an unnecessary, excessive, and fatal use of force.
Wow. So that was a lot. And I know that some of my co-hosts don't agree with everything that happened in the video. And I know some of you feel like, well, he kind of was resistant, and I get that. And let me make this comment real quick because I was laughing because someone wrote in the comments, they got that old ass doctor for real. And they went with this doctor because I believe
he's old, 95, fucking pushing on it.
I really believe that Attorney Crump wanted to make sure that he brought the heat. So he brought the best suited doctor that he could bring because he knew that the cops were going to come with their
somebody to push the narrative. That's all that doctor is. Somebody to push the narrative.
That doctor has years of experience. He's a pathologist.
What? I mean,
here.
What?
I don't like y'all. Y'all.
First of all, fuck the police, all right?
Whoa. Okay, NWA.
We gonna start with that shit.
Okay, so
fuck
don't
the
call the
police.
cops. Don't call the cops.
Coming hard.
Listen, we need the popos.
Don't call the police. Nigga, they supposed to do their job. Doesn't matter. It doesn't say that I can go to a hospital and say fuck the hospital. If I drop and have a heart attack, they still have to take care of me. This is what we paid them for.
Terrible.
I mean, no, they do. That is the law. They still have to take care of you. You could have killed that doctor's kid, and that doctor still has the obligation to save your life. That's the Hippocratic oath. So that is true. The Hippocratic or the what's it?
I'm gonna
it's
make
not
a
called
mistake.
Hippocratic oath.
What is it called? Hippocratic.
I'm gonna make a mistake.
It's not a hypocrite. It's not a hypocrite.
What is it called then? Because it is called something.
Yeah.
I think Hippocratic oath.
That's what I just said.
It's some sort of oath. Fuck them damn police, man. Word of mother. I'll say my position because I know a lot of you guys probably figure that he fought the police officer. He definitely fought the police officer. That man's civil liberties were fucking violated time and time again. We've seen these situations
The
where
Hippocratic
one of us.
I mean, I said it right the first time.
No.
Where we've seen time and time again where so many of us have been
Hippocratic.
approached. I'll wait
Go
for
ahead
y'all.
there, Shaka. Go ahead.
Sorry, Shaka. We love you. I'm sorry. That's great.
No, I was just saying that man's civil liberties was fucking violated.
I don't think so.
That none of that shit would have had would have transpired if he wasn't unjust. He had no validation to follow that fucking dude. And if he ran from the police, I can 100% understand. How does it doesn't specify what ensued in that conversation? Like he doesn't know why he's been pulled over from what we can tell.
It shows him running from the police.
The first thing he did
ran
wrong
from
was
the
he got out of
police.
the car. First thing he did wrong was he got out of the car. You were told to stay in the car. You don't. The first thing you did wrong is you did not listen to the officer's instructions.
No. What? Okay. The first thing he did wrong, the man panicked.
He kept doing it wrong after that.
Wouldn't you panic if it can be suggested that you were afraid? The nigga's running because he's afraid.
So
I
we're
wouldn't, 'cause
so
I ain't
it's okay.
stupid.
So
Why
because
the
I want to play
passenger-
devil's advocate. I want to play devil's advocate. So I always hear people say, "Well, cops are human. They make mistakes."
Fuck that.
They
train for situations like that. We're not.
The everyday American is not well equipped to handle dealing with police officers. A lot of people, if you look in that man's face, that man was terrified. He had anxiety, and he didn't know
tapping?
what to do.
Y'all hear that?
I'm sorry.
You hear the tapping?
Somebody mute your phone. Everybody.
That was my damn son running down the hallway.
Oh.
Oh, that's what that sound is.
Okay.
Even though he should be sleeping.
I got a question. Why ain't the passenger get
You-
out? Why ain't the
you
passenger
grounded,
get out all
nigga.
afraid?
Not even that.
Huh?
It's just.
Why ain't the passenger get out all afraid?
It's not. It's the thing is that you stay in the car no matter what,
No,
and that even if we play devil's advocate, the first thing you're supposed to do is when you get pulled over, you roll down your window, you have your license and registration with you, and you shut up until they tell you something. And that's the first thing that somebody should have told them is say, don't get out of the car. Don't do that. You're just gonna make it worse.
I get
When
what
you
you're
come out of the car,
saying.
you're considered a threat.
I
You're
get what
considered
you're
a threat after that.
I get what you're saying, but I think like just watching his body movement.
The
and how
only
he got
person
in
that's
the
a
car-
threat is the man with the fucking gun. That's the only person that's a threat.
So why
Well, no, Shaka. That officer does not know what he's walking into. When this man gets out the car, it's not normal for a person to step out the car. Everyone pretty much knows stay in the car, put your arms out the window. But I could tell that this person, like they said, he hasn't been here long. I don't know if I don't think we made it to the end of that.
He was a
that part of the
refugee.
video.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he probably seen videos on how American cops interact with people, and I think he got out the car like thinking he could de-escalate stuff really quickly. Like, let me just get out the car. I don't have anything on me, and blah blah blah. Because when the man said, because he said, "Do you speak English?" He could tell the cop didn't ask that question for no reason. He can gauge that this man was not quite grasping what he was saying because. The man looks, well, he's black. So you don't ask the everyday African American, can you speak English? You assume they're here in America, so you're assuming they can speak English. But this is just me assuming. This is my opinion. So I'm thinking that.
English?
I'm sorry?
Yes, he
Did
does.
he speak English?
But why didn't? Yes,
He didn't
does.
speak. He didn't speak good English. He didn't
But
speak
why,
good English.
Why didn't this black passenger get out the car if everything?
Because you don't even listen. You don't know who that person was in the seat with him. You don't know if that was a family member because none of his family. His mother had to have an interpreter. They don't speak English. So when he said you got license, and he said, "Huh?" And he said you got license, and he's yeah, and then he's trying to walk away. And in that moment when he was trying to walk away, I think he was trying to walk in front of the car and just try to sit there or something. But I think when he seen the cop saying no, he got scared and he dipped. because that's what young black men do. I was a black teen. When we seen those lights, I don't know what was it about those lights. We ran. It was programming us to run.
Yeah, if you run, if you know you can get away, but if a cop stops you and you know you're caught, we weren't running. You can't say no normal.
Bro, listen.
Black
I was about.
stay.
Oh, go ahead, Dennis. Go ahead.
Dennis, have you ever been a part of some street shit at all?
No, that just fires me up because actually, that just fires me up because here's the situation. Okay, people such as, no offense, but you guys that are making up excuses for this behavior for black men who are literally majority of these men know what they're doing. They're trying to avoid going to jail. You make excuses. So when you see this on the news, give me like 20 seconds. Give me 20 seconds. When you see these stories on the news and you hear liberals making up excuses for these cases, it causes other black men to think, oh, this is how life is, when life isn't that way. Y'all just make it that way, and y'all program them to think that they're going to get shot by a cop for a simple traffic situation. Go ahead.
Like that doesn't happen?
Oh, let Jazz go real quick.
Only people that resist arrest.
When I see a cop siren, I'm getting the fuck out of Dodge. And that's a fact.
Jump in there, Jazz.
So, how I feel about that is, okay, what he was doing watching the video, you know, like how B said, him getting out of the car and doing all that was indeed wrong. But just because it was wrong didn't mean that the cop had to kill him. Like y'all just said, he didn't know a lot of English. That's obviously, it's a communication barrier. You know what I mean? So it's like he could have thought he was saying something else that he really wasn't damn saying. Why is your face like that, B? What the fuck?
Cause and effect, Jazz.
Republican.
If you do something,
that's cause and effect, but I mean,
expect the consequence of that action. You be a dumbass, shit gonna happen to you. This could have been avoided had he stayed in the car. None of this would have happened.
This could have been avoided. This could have been avoided if he wasn't racially
profiled. That cop never profiled him.
Negative.
That
could have been avoided.
Guys, it's not even a profile.
He was profiled.
Stay in the car.
When he rode past that cop, he was well down the street. That cop had no reason to pull him over.
And you know what? All he had to do was just do what he was told, and he would have been let go.
So we're supposed to be okay with being profiled?
Hold up. If his license plate didn't match the car, then you know what? You're going to get a ticket. And that's all you get. You don't go to jail. You know what he would have done? He would have just gotten a ticket to appear in court to straighten it out, and it would have been that. The thing is, what's happening is people get this idea.
For people who are not black,
people get this idea now. Hold on, because of this. Oh my gosh, because of this, people have this idea now that it's okay to fight the police, and it's been like that for 2 years.
It's not okay to fight the cops. It's definitely
not okay.
No one is saying that it's okay to
that's
fight
exactly
the cops.
what we saw.
B.
But I mean, if somebody is fighting like
that it was okay. You just said that it was okay for that cop to pull him over.
Cause and effect. Had he stayed in the car, listen to the police officer.
No, cause and effect.
No, the cause was the fact that he was racially profiled.
Goes both ways.
It's unfortunate he died. I'm not saying that it's not wrong.
I got the floor. I have the floor.
It's not wrong.
Sorry, Pop. Can you put my phone on the charger for me, please?
So, cause and effect goes both ways, B. This man's supervisor said that he did so many things wrong. He did so many things wrong, and the police chief never comes out just like this. This cop seen this car go by. He was not behind him. He said the reason why he pulled him over was because of his tags. Why did he turn around when that man was all the way down the street? You see in the video, that man was already at a stop sign. Why did that cop turn around and then run his plates? He did not swerve. He did not run a red light. He didn't do a stop and roll through a stop sign. There was no legit cause to pull that man over. That cop escalated this because he did not have a right to pull him over. He didn't have a real reason to pull him over other than he was black and driving down the street. So therefore, the whole interaction, that man knew when he got pulled over by that cop, he had done nothing wrong. We don't know if the place was right. We don't know if those was, because listen, you're not a refugee and you come to America and get a car right away. That don't happen for you right away. That had to be somebody's car he was driving. and he probably
And-
did not understand what's going on. I'm not going to justify
Either
him
way.
fighting the police.
Either way, but
I mean, I'm not
Black
going to
folk- black folk
justify
refuse to
whatever.
accept
I'm not going to
consequences.
justify
either way,
whatever he says. I'm not going to justify because I don't know. I don't know. I'm not there in the moment. I don't know what that man feels.
Right.
But all I can say is that as a black dude, and I've been in these situations, so many of us have. You can do everything the police say, and you can still die. At some point, your fight or fight is going to be kicked in. You don't know what this cop is thinking. All you know is that you want to make it home. The difference is we're not trained what to do. Most of us are not trained what to do when you pay. Dennis, chill. We're gonna make America great. Just give me a second.
Okay, you gotta give me more than 20 seconds then after you're done.
Yeah. Us as humans, we're not trained what to do. When we talk to police or when we're panicking, all we know is that we're afraid and we're trying to get the fuck out of there. But you know who is trained for those situations? Those motherfuckers. And like you said, he said,
because you know what?
no,
we got some good
that
cops
man,
out there.
that fucking pig ass cop took a black man's life. Fuck that cop and fuck everybody that respect people like him. Fuck that.
Hey, whoa. I'm not for using deadly force, okay? And in a situation that was uncalled for. Like, again, that dude taking out his weapon when the guy was already pinned is unnecessary.
Yeah,
That's
that was
unnecessary use of force. Okay, let me tell you what's necessary. What was necessary was one, the guy staying in the car. Okay, what was necessary was two, the minute the guy tries to put his hands behind his back, he runs. That's what makes the cop have to go into his fight or flight mode, because he wants to know, why is this guy running? So now he needs to catch the guy to figure out what's going on. What's happening is these guys, instead of de-escalating the situation, both of them are escalating it too far. But initially, homie got out of the car.
Let's not call him homie. Let's not do that.
Conduct his investigation. Had he conducted it, then all this videotape going around, but like he was racial profiled, all this stuff, it would have been another situation to deal with, which is the racial profiling factor. We're not even focusing on that part. We're focusing on the killing. We're not looking at like what this cop was doing prior to that. All right, so let's see what the problem is. We were talking about corruption. We were talking about how there's bad cops out there. He's probably one of those ones, and then it doesn't matter if it's a good cop, bad cop. You run into a situation. This is just a life training for you, everybody in the room. Just even if y'all had bad experience, you need to treat every single incident as its own individual thing. Not all cops are bad, but not all cops are good. You need to listen to their commands.
And not all blacks are criminals.
It doesn't matter, because you know what? It will save your life.
We're not all criminals either.
I didn't say that. Did I say that, Shaka?
No, you don't have to say that.
But you have to.
What we're being shown
demanding
shows
that
us that
people
we're all
respect
fucking
the
criminals.
police officers is the same
What about the
respect that
respect
they
for
have
us?
to give the people in the community.
I
It
understand
have to be equal trust.
I understand that, but that's a problem that the police have had for a good 50 years now.
But why is it still
It's
a
been
problem?
longer than that.
And it's longer than 50
shouldn't be
years.
a problem. It shouldn't be a problem.
As far
Even
as
that
the
shit
civil
about
rights movement, it's been 50 years.
No, not as
As
far,
far as-
we're not going based upon the civil rights movement, because guess what? The civil rights movement happened so black people can have rights. F all of that. We should have had rights as humans, period, 400 years ago. So we're going based on general. And I want to say this really quick. It's so easy for people who are not African American to sit here and say, "Oh, he could have did this right. He could do this right." Why you always running? If you know the number of black men that are incarcerated for crimes they did not commit in New York alone, on Rikers Island, I believe it's called, there are black men right now sitting down in jail for crimes that they did not commit. They were arrested, and they still have to just sit there to prove in court for years. It was a young man there for years to prove that he didn't do something.
Or something like that. Yeah,
that was the one he committed suicide at, like a couple years after he got out. Right?
Khalif Browder. He spent 4 years in Rikers for somebody alleging that he stole a book bag.
A book bag.
A book bag.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
if you know that this is a possibility that the justice system is going to screw you over like this, you're going to run. You're going to run because what are the options you have? Most of these young black men, they don't have money to get a lawyer. They don't have money to get bail. They know they're going to either lose their job, they're going to lose this. They're not thinking in the sense of you might lose your life. They're just knowing that either way it goes, it's bad for them. It is bad for them. So for a person who doesn't experience this, because when the officer sees someone of fair complexion, they're more than likely to have a, hey, sir, how are you doing interaction? And you don't, that just, I mean, if you're light-skinned, if you're a light-skinned black person, they're more than likely to talk to you differently than a darker-skinned black person. Because the darker your skin, that means you're aggressive. That is how they deal with us.
The only place that I can see where that hasn't happened is here, because Atlanta has a lot of black cops.
Black
so
cops,
it's like
right.
Question for you guys, everyone in the room.
Like in Ohio,
Everyone in the room. Question for you. Raise your hand if you have a criminal record.
Wait,
So-
when we say criminal record, is it like like
Criminal
felony,
record.
like,
I could go and look at
like
your name
traffic tickets,
and
or
I
like
can pull
I
you
went
up.
to jail for killing
Nope.
somebody?
Criminal record. It doesn't even matter what it
Misdemeanor,
is.
felony,
Like
any type of jail
misdemeanors,
time or
like
anything.
M's,
You don't have
like
to do
M's
jail
or
time.
F's. M's
Criminal
or
record.
F's.
You do it backwards.
Doesn't matter.
Oh.
Criminal record. Do you
Traffic
have
tickets too?
no, that's not. That's criminal.
I have
That's not
stuff in the
criminal.
system.
Okay, then no, never mind. I don't, because all I really got is traffic.
Who has a criminal record? All right. There you go. So
But Brandon,
oh, hold
a
up,
cop
hold
would
up,
look at.
hold up. Hold up. We're talking
really-
about who had a criminal record, who could be profiled. Guess who could be profiled? The criminal.
You, not you, but Shaka. Shaka would be profiled before you.
Look at me. Look at all you guys that have zero criminal records. All right. I have one. I'm a stereotype.
But the police
But the thing is,
will not. But the police wouldn't think that you had one over
oh, yeah, they
Shaka,
would. All they gotta
Jazz,
do is look
or
my name up.
Dennis.
All they gotta do is look my name up. They
It
will know.
doesn't. It doesn't.
But they're
work
not
like
gonna
that.
look
It
for
doesn't-
you if they
Yeah,
see
Brandon,
us.
I love.
If
Brandon,
they
I
see
love what
us
you were
in
trying
a
to do
car,
just now.
B-Vaz,
I
if
love
they
what you were
see
trying to do,
Uniforms. I'm
but
trying
that
to
was a
say
fail.
we're all
That was a fail.
B-Vaz is a bad registration. You know what's gonna happen? Me and you in the car together, you driving, they gonna come to my window and ask me for my license and registration.
Right.
And I'm not even fucking driving. That's what's
And
gonna happen.
I've been in the car. Nope, I've been in the car with. I've been with a car with people of different ethnicities, and the only person that came to me, all right, was one police officer stood around right to me. The other one came around to the other side just to stand there as a backup in case something went down. Never asked anybody's information, only mine.
It gets frustrating because
You're half Latino.
No,
yes.
B-Vaz.
I'm 100% Latino.
He's
You're
100%.
I have a story about that.
Did you
But
happen to have
let me-
any Jose Cuervo on you?
No.
Okay, sorry.
Let me say something real quick. I love you to death, and I know
They
you
do
have to
profile
be smart.
y'all.
And I know, B, that you're trying to just
Make it
open
uniform.
everybody's-
It's uniform. Everybody has the potential to get racial profiled. Even me.
No.
Yeah.
Let me know when I can go without getting cut off. But go
I would
ahead.
say yeah, me too. 'Cause I got
Everyone's
sorry.
been getting cut off, B.
I'll be done.
I mean,
I've talked for 20
So-
seconds this whole podcast. But go ahead.
Hey,
So, I told you, you better die the fuck in. The fuck?
No, I don't have energy for that because y'all cut me off when it doesn't align with what y'all talk about.
Everybody let Dennis
I'm
talk. Everybody
joking.
be quiet. Let's go ahead, Dennis.
Okay, all I have to say is really three things. First thing is, you guys got to understand, black folks, we got a bad rep because majority of us refuse to accept responsibility for our actions when it comes to criminal behavior. Here's the situation. That guy, yes, it might have been wrong, him getting pulled over, driving while black, wrong. He could have fought it in court. So ultimately, he shouldn't have got out the car. And then this is what happened. He could have got the cop in trouble. Secondly, instead of you guys pushing the
Cop in
fact
trouble.
of being a normal, just being a normal American and just stopping, roll your windows down, lights on, doing what any other normal
I got
American knows. Even though white people, yes, I get it. They get pulled over, they can get out the car or whatever, and they don't get shot. But here's the situation. Push that, then you have more of us stopping and doing the right thing through that traffic stop than seeing and hearing people like what you guys are portraying, who are telling them you're going to get shot no matter what, you fear for your life, cops ain't this, cops ain't that. Then guess what? They think that, And then when they get stopped, they act accordingly. Lastly, podcaster, Lapeef Network, forgot his name, but he came up with the whole Victim Olympics analogy. You guys literally sound like you're running in the Victim Olympics. It's like us as black folks.
Says the person who talked for 20 seconds on the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna wrap it up like this and say that we gotta stop. You literally are coming up with all these excuses on why this guy was not wrong, instead of the reasons why he should have stopped and done what anybody else would have done to get out of that situation with the ticket, with a simple ticket. But that's all I have to say in regards to what y'all been screwing for the past 15 minutes.
I get the feeling
Dennis.
I get the feeling that Dennis' last girlfriend left him because she was a nigga lover.
No, actually, no. She was actually.
I'm just getting that feeling.
Are you Clayton Bigsbying him?
What the hell? You men are crazy.
Dennis, I love
men
you, bro,
are
but
something else. Oh my goodness. I just realized the men on this show says whatever.
No,
men be thinking the craziest things. Like I would
Dennis,
never think to say
Dennis, I love you, bro, but you be saying you be getting some sick shit off.
So Dennis agrees with my thing.
So no chick will say that anyway.
I gave
Dennis
you a
and
time
I
on the
have the
floor.
same
I'm
view.
reclaiming my time.
Okay, this is not a democratic freaking debate.
I'm reclaiming my time, Mr. Vasquez. So anyway, I get what Dennis is trying to say, but
It's the same thing I'm saying.
Brandon, Mr. Latino, sir, Mr. Clean. I said, sir, that I got a part of what you were saying, but what you not grasping is that it is easier for a fair-skinned person to have a different interaction with a dark-skinned person. Dennis, sir, you profile your own people sometimes. Dennis, you see darker people, you feel some type of way. You see a guy with dreadlocks and dark-skinned, you're going to clutch your pearls. Yes, you are. Let me tell you something, because the way you speak, wait a minute. No, I'm not trying to be shady. I'm trying to be like so for real. And it's
Let
just
me
the way.
rebut that. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
That's fine, sir. Anyways, what I'm trying to get off here is the situation of everyone wants to justify this officer. I would have been so forth with this officer if he had did everything according to the way he was supposed to do it. This man is trained for this, but yet we sit here and we bash the civilians who aren't. I mean, this guy is not even accustomed to. This guy is not accustomed to the American way. Okay, so this officer is a 7-year veteran, right? He knew better than to get behind that man for no reason. That was just wrong. This all could have been avoided. If that officer seen that man get out the car and he wasn't doing what he was supposed to be doing, he could have easily called for backup. There were a lot of steps that he had that he just didn't follow. He was beaten to the beat of his own drum. And when you're an officer, those policies and those rules that you're supposed to follow are there in place to not just protect you, but to protect the community. Because essentially, that is his job, is to protect the community and go home to his family safe. Now, if he felt that was a really dangerous situation, that officer he did not feel like he was in danger. You see how close up he was with that taser? That man was right here. When you see an officer use a taser, they're usually a step back.
Between
Do you know
50,
why?
to 100, 25 to 50 feet, right?
That is a part of his training. So you're telling me that this man who's been trained for a lot of years, he threw out everything he learned, and now you expect this foreigner who doesn't even know how our cops operate, but you got to think about how the police back there in the Congo operate. This guy escaped there because of the things that the police are doing to the people there and all the violence that are erupting there. So there are a lot of factors that play in this right here.
This ain't
So I don't think this is a cut and dry case for people just to put all the blame on this man. I think that there was a breakdown with this officer too. This officer could have done things differently. And unfortunately, he should be charged because not only did he put that gun to the back of his head and shoot, he could have, that man's arms was below him. There was no taser involved no more, because little do the public know that man shot the taser 2 times. There's only 2 cartridges in there. That civilian could not use that taser again. He could not use it again. There was nothing that man could do with that taser. And like that officer said, the police chief said, a taser is not considered a lethal weapon. As a de-escalator. That's what it is. Someone else go.
No,
Right,
the media is doing exactly.
Let me tell
I'm
her,
sorry.
Let me tell her this real quick. You're lightweight hypocrite, because you just sat here and said that a dark-skinned black, like I fear a dark-skinned black man with dreads coming up, and I'm clutching my jewels. So that means that you are assuming that a black man with dreads is a bad man. Because why would you make that analogy if you didn't? If you
I'm
didn't think
making
that
that
in your head?
analogy because most white folks make that analogy. Most lighter-skinned black folks make that analogy. Most Asians make that analogy. Most Latins make that analogy.
Where
Most
did
of
you see that
America
at?
makes the
I've
analogy.
never,
If you're wearing a hoodie and you're carrying Skittles, you're a thug.
No,
So
you
that
didn't
is
say
just
that.
a
No,
generalized
you said
thing,
a dark
honey.
skin. You said
I'm
a dark
just
skin black
bringing.
man with dreads on.
Listen, I'm
on
just
his head.
serving you the tea. Okay, I did not make it. I'm just serving.
She's
You said
she's
dark
giving
skin
you
black
she's
man
giving
with
you the
dreads.
yeah, she's giving you the example of America's fear.
I don't
Because
And it
a
is
black man is
dark-skinned
a
men.
black man is to be feared. Yeah. And
you have
America. God, go ahead, I'm sorry.
no, you have men on all. You have men of all national or all races. I fear white men with tattoos all over their face, skinheads with piercings all over their face. I'm gonna walk across the street. A Hispanic guy who freaking got tattoos all over his body with some freaking chucks and some brown dickies on. I'm gonna walk across the street. With us, if I see a black guy with a mask on, I'm gonna walk across the street. We all have
I
stereotypes
fear
that in our
humans,
head we
period.
play.
I fear humans because I don't know what any human being is capable of.
No, but I'm saying
Anyone, no
they're
matter
bad in all
what, no
communities.
matter the gender, no matter the race, no matter the color, any human is capable of committing evil. We have seen that throughout the years.
Okay, that's
Anyone
fine.
who has evil in their heart will commit evil.
Okay, but we
So
know
what I'm
we know
trying
the
to say is
stereotypes.
let's not just group one group of people into being bad or just evil. And unfortunately, my black is always grouped into being evil. When I first moved here to Charlotte, North Carolina, I had a
Because
woman
we
cross
do
the whole
majority of
street
these we're doing the
because
majority of
I was
crimes.
walking near her. She's crossed the street, okay, street, not street,
Yeah,
but
street.
she crossed the street, okay. I know I can speak to experience. You know,
But
Dennis,
6%
unfortunately,
of men, 6% of black men account for over 45% of all violent crime in America.
not all
Yearly.
violent. Come on, man. I just
Look it
gave
up.
you the list. I just gave you that list, and it broke down the crime and to murder, to robbery, to all of this, and you gonna spew out that bull.
Historically,
I'm talking from
white
If you
people.
look at last year's stats, it was about it was what 20. What was it? 2,800.
Let me say something.
All right, you
Let me-
take 1 year stat. You take 1 year stat, and historically white people have been more violent than us.
Exactly.
But yet
They're not counting for all of that.
Yeah, we are the threat. We are the threats, but when throughout history. All right, so you take 1 year and average that. You take 1 year, and you take that 1 year out of 435 fucking years of what they've been doing to us, and how the fuck are we the threats? Throughout history, they have been the most violent people.
Programming. You've been programmed to think that your own people are just the most violent people in America. And that's why black people don't know how to love other black people. And that's why other races can come in and divide us and throw out these numbers and make us hate each other anymore.
Okay, so you're not going to go off statistics?
When we're supposed to love on each other.
Statistics
You know, everyone always says black on black crime. Well, guess what? Let me tell you how you heal black on black crime. Throw out all the bullshit you've been taught through the years about our people and love on us. Let's take out the hatred. Let's remove colorism. It started with colorism. Let's remove colorism. Let's black people take that. Let's take that and say that we have colorism issues in our community.
Why ain't we rallying for those kids that got shot at the house party? Why ain't we rallying for that? But we're rallying for this guy who literally did the wrong thing, Just like the cop did the wrong thing.
First of all, we haven't even made it
difference.
to that. We're going to talk about that. We haven't even made it to that. And I'm going to rally around those kids.
Hold on, let me. Let me do this. Let me do this right now. Right.
The guy that shot.
This is the difference, right? This is the difference. When I kill you, God forbid, if I kill somebody that looks like me, and I get caught, I'm going to jail.
Period.
The cop ain't going to jail. So this is the point for the fucking. This is the rally. You know what I'm saying? That's the point for the rally. Yo, fam, listen. If I kill me, if I kill you, I'm going to jail, man. What's up for these dudes? You got hired assassins out here, fam, and they killing with impunity. That's what the market is for.
Some black women are married to cops, and they don't. I'm pretty sure they don't feel that way. They don't feel like all cops are bad. They might play that.
I don't feel like I'm a black woman married to an officer, and I don't feel like all cops are bad.
Okay.
But in this situation, there are some cops who will stand against this. Those good cops who go out there and they put their lives on the line. These are the cops whose lives are in danger because men like him break the law and they put other good cops in danger. So now you got good cops that wake up every morning wanting to make a change in their community, and then they got to go out there and they got to deal with this BS.
No, but they
people
can't
thinking they're bad.
But then they can't.
To your point, there was a situation in Buffalo, I think, right after the George Floyd situation happened, where a cop was trying to stomp out some brothers, and another cop stopped him, and the cop that stopped him got fired. Did y'all hear about this?
Yeah.
Because he stopped. Yeah, he got fired because he stopped that shit from happening. They want this shit to happen.
The one black woman, the female cop, she got fired too.
Yeah. Yeah, and it showed America proves this shit time and time again. What they're doing, they're making this gentleman, I don't know his name, and they're making him to be the bad guy. They're putting him on trial and not the police officer. It's the same thing they did with Trayvon Martin.
The police officer should have, I'm going to say, he should have never used excessive deadly force. The excessive use of force
Absolutely
was
not. They're trained for shit like that.
But
he needed backup.
It's not even that, but I have to put the but.
If you that scared, you don't need to be outside.
What did this gentleman do to cause the situation to be a problem? He made it a problem because he didn't listen to the officer's commands. I need to stress that this is really important that people aren't following along. Even though people are saying you follow instructions and something still bad happens, no video have I seen where that's happened, where they listened and they still died. That's never happened.
Philando Castillo followed instruction and got his hands blown off in front of his baby.
I be Vaz have not seen one.
Okay, so I can provide 3 to you.
When a person followed every
Sandra Bland one of them?
And died.
Sandra Bland is one of them. Philando Castro, whatever the guy's name is, that got shot in front of his baby. He fully complied.
Philandrio Castillo.
He told the cop that he had a gun. He said, "I got my gun license in the bag." He said, "Go get it."
The behavior health specialist down in Florida.
He didn't die. He didn't die.
Philandrio Castillo did die.
No, you said the health. No, he reached for
He did not. No, he didn't die, but he was shot. Luckily, the bullet did not hit no major organs. He was lucky.
It grazed them.
It did not. Okay, Dennis, he was shot while obeying commands.
No, I know it. I was wrong. I told you that I was wrong. I'm the one that told you.
I said died. I said
died.
Listen. What difference will it make?
It makes a big difference.
It makes a big difference.
It's because listen, once you shoot that gun, you have no control over if the kill whether what organ it hits or not.
I said died. Y'all guys
I just raped the bitch down. I just raped the bitch down the street, but I didn't ejaculate. Like
exactly, it's still fucking rape.
Yeah,
and they hadn't died.
Okay, so we're gonna let me say this really quick, and then we're gonna move on for this because this is gonna be something that's gonna be a hot subject for us always. Because we're never going to agree on this because there's a lot of people who speak on things that they don't live through.
Hold on. Let me say one more thing. Right. Okay. There was a segment in there where they said the cops thing, the cop's body cam got turned off 3 seconds before the shot. and it said it actually that's another way to prove that goes against the virus. That's similar to what they used to do back in the 70s with the Panthers. Before they would whoop your ass, the cops would cover their badges.
They said
it's
the
the
button,
same
you
thing.
gotta push the button for. No, they said you gotta push the button.
You have to push the button for 3 seconds.
That cop didn't
So
have
what
3
happened?
seconds to push that button while fighting that guy. Come on now, he's not.
So how did
Actually,
Superman.
listen, I know exactly how these cameras look and how they're set up. He had exactly that amount of time because of how it is right here and how it's connected. It's attached to what's the name on there. So while he was doing that, he had enough time to do this and hold it and turn it off.
Could it have turned
And that's
off
the
from
only way to
wrestling?
turn it off, Dennis. That is
That's
the
what I'm
only way
thinking.
to turn it off.
Could it have been turned off from the wrestling?
No.
Because the guy
No,
was
the way the
wrestling.
button is, listen, the button is this small on there. You have to literally hold it in. I'm telling you.
The passenger was recording also. The passenger was recording video, and the cop saw her recording. I saw them recording video because that's part of the video that's out from the passenger. The passenger put the video out.
Is there a close up on that moment, or is the camera from their vantage point?
You got to find the passenger recorded the whole situation.
I don't think it's a close up.
His camera
All
was
right,
on.
so we don't know.
His
We
camera
don't know.
was on
But
when it was on the ground, but
the
the moment he
lawyer
decided
says-
to pull his gun out, his camera turns off. I don't think so.
Well, he
That's
the same
had
shit they
hold
did.
on. He had his chest pressed against him, and then he was reaching. So when you reach, you press your chest out. So he couldn't have done this. He had his chest out.
We have
So
a
he was
professional who's in the comments who said what he said, and he would know because he's been
Well,
doing this for a very long time.
I didn't see his hand here. He had one hand on a radio, and then the other hand on the taser, and then he still was.
The taser was out. The taser was out his hand by then. The taser was out his hand.
He had let go of the radio. No, the taser was still in the hand. He still was holding the taser. When they showed that
Go
video.
back and watch the video. Go back and watch the video. Okay, so listen, let me say this really quick though.
Black love, Jazz.
There are definitely good cops out there. I don't want this video to take away from the good work that we have good guys doing. But what I do want to say is that when men like this commit these crimes, it should not be sat on. It needs to be moved along. Investigations need to start. And if you have cops who step up to turn men like him in, let's protect them. The same protection that you guys would give a person who's going to testify against a crackhead or a drug lord, give these officers the same protection so that they'll know when they come into work, their job's not in jeopardy, their life is not on the line, and they can still feel comfortable. The problem is you have good men and women wanting to step up and get rid of the cancer that plagues the police department. But guess what? There's even bigger cancers at the top. There's even bigger cancers at the top that's going to shut them down at the door and get rid of them. So let's go ahead and get in here and clean these police stations the hell out, because that's the problem. Because no longer is it about community. It's all about doing favors and hiding our hands behind our back so no one sees the dirt that's on them and covering bullshit up. That's what that is about. It's no longer about community. We have great cops out there. I want to say that. Now I want to move things along real quick and talk about the house party in Pittsburgh. The house. So, oh God, I don't even know who rented the Airbnb. I don't have information on it yet, but it
was somebody over the age of 18 who did it.
Pittsburgh, PA.
Yeah, in Pittsburgh.
There was a house party at an Airbnb, and there was approximately 200 people in attending. Most of them were teenagers. I watched the video, which was very disturbing, very, very disturbing, and I did not want to put that clip up. So someone in the party yells out, "Y'all gotta go, y'all gotta go." And the next thing I hear a bunch of kids saying, "He got a gun, he got a gun, he got a gun, he got a gun." And they're trying to run towards the exit. And as all of these people are trying to run, like, the hallway is so congested. It's so narrow and they can't get down. They can't get down it. And the next thing I know in this video, I hear gunshots. And so I know for sure 2 teenagers, 17 and I believe 16, lost their life. 8 children were hurt. They jumped out the window. A lot of them had broken bones. I don't like to normally go into where the hell was the parents at. I really don't. But what I want to say is, in today's climate, we have to know where our children are at all times. And we have to get to a point of vetting these parties that they're going to. Someone else go. Go ahead. I've been talking a long time.
Can I go first here?
Yeah.
So I'll start by saying I hope by the end of this podcast you guys can explain to me, I guess, what you have to, I guess, experience to be, I guess, black and talk about black issues. Because like with this issue, I'm black, but with this issue, I'm gonna say that first off, you had 200 kids, majority of them were black, okay, in this house party. No parents, to think not one parent called the cops to shut this party down, okay? That's first off. Second of all, the person that shot over 50 times at this party, it was 2 people, okay? None of those kids are telling on those 2 people because the police still has no information on who did it. Thirdly, is the fact that this happened on the weekend, and it's Wednesday or Tuesday. I didn't hear one thing. I didn't see one story. And I'm on Twitter. I'm on social media. I'm on Yahoo, and I'm on freaking Google, just checking for news stories. I didn't see one mention of this story at all. And it happened to Pittsburgh. So my Facebook, most of my friends are in Youngstown.
It was on CNN.
But here's the thing, most of my friends are from Youngstown. I didn't see one story at all talking about this shooting. So my question to you is, when are we going to get to the point that we stop fighting and rallying for the one person being hurt out of over 500 traffic stops? And
I would never in my life.
Let me wrap it up. Let me wrap it up. When are we going to, let me just.
I would never in my life. Never in my life not rally behind anyone who was black just because.
Okay, so name one time. So name one time there was a bunch of kids hurt just like this because of shooting that black people were out there rallying.
Right, there was people outside my neighborhood rallying.
There's been a lot of people rallying when crimes happen in Chicago. Little kids get
No,
killed.
I said name one person. Name one person. You can't even remember a name of any of these kids, black kids that are shot because of the fact a black person did it.
Do you know why? Do you know why I don't remember? Because there's so many of them.
Y'all don't care.
It's not.
Y'all don't care. But we're doing it.
Dennis,
one kid.
I'm about to politely tell you off. Don't you ever in your life assume I don't care about my community or the kids that are hurt in my community. I speak on these things because I care. I am a mother who is so involved in her children that my children think I am beyond strict. I lecture my children friends. My children friends don't like to come over here because guess what? I'm going to ask them, what are you doing? Where are you going? What time you guys are getting back and who you're going with? Because if their parents aren't going to ask them, guess what? I'm playing mama bear. There have been children being stopped by the police down here. I'm going to step in. I'm going to intervene, especially if I don't see mom and dad around. So don't ever in your life, please tell me that I don't care. You don't know when.
No, I'm saying why don't we know one name of any of these kids or any of these people shot innocently in the same way? Why didn't you name? I mean, can you name one person? And that's the point. You can't because social media, nobody.
First of all, oftentimes when these young kids are killed, they do not release the name, and most people try to respect the families of these young children because it's not like an 18-year-old.
It's always you see on Twitter. It's always.
Do you understand why the press
justice for Alicia or justice for Ashley? You see these all the time. Just like those kids that are shot in mass shootings. It's always justice for this person, justice for that person.
Dennis,
but with us, there's never any justice. This
Dennis.
was a mass shooting in a house party.
Please pause.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jazz. You say you were gonna go ahead.
Oh yeah. I just wanted to say what I gotta say because after this, I'm gonna exit out. But of course, like I said, I see it on both sides. I see exactly what Dennis is saying, but I see what you're saying as well. I mean, granted, just from jump, having a party in an Airbnb, that just sounded like a bad idea to begin with. And then the adult that actually put the Airbnb in their name, like, why would you do that? Because I mean, in my head, only me, like if somebody asks me to put something in that name, I'm always thinking of the worst that could happen. And I'm like,
Right.
no, because I'm not about to fuck up my name over something like, and I wasn't even there. Because you got to think about it. This person now, if Airbnb is going to cancel them out completely. So it's like, if they even attempt to be listed as a guest on somebody else's shit, it's,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all
Right.
gonna be done for, you know? So it's like, why even put yourself in that situation? Like, and then just, I don't know. Like, it was just bad all
For
together.
me,
Like, all them damn kids in one house like that.
right.
Like, you could have been like how the white people was when I went to school and have a party like that in the fucking middle of a fucking field or something.
But
You know what
but
I'm saying? Like,
Jazz, where were the parents? How
at home, sleep,
how is
something,
200
because
kids 200
Missing.
just missing?
I mean, that's a lot of damn kids.
That's a
Like,
lot of kids to be gone that late. And that's why
but
I said
see,
I'm
maybe
not
I
trying to be
wasn't
like,
like, my parents were strict. So it was like when I was that age, like 14, 15, 16, every night my ass was at home, even on the weekends. Like, I wasn't like
unfortunately, my
actually
ass was always at
out.
a house party.
Yeah, not me. Like, it was more like once like I got of age, you know, that's when I was doing that. But beforehand, no, you're not going to nobody's house. You're not going to nobody's party. You're not spending the weekend and that shit. Like, my grandma raised me, and you know how grandmas are. Like, it was
Yep.
completely different. So maybe, like, I don't know. But I love y'all. I'm sleepy. I gotta work in the morning. So
Bye, love.
All right. Have a good
Night,
night.
y'all.
see y'all later.
Night. Take care.
But to kind of like, and we're gonna wrap this up soon. But to kind of say what Jazz was saying, like, I was a riffraff. Like, I was 12 years old and I was out at parties until like 2 a.m. Like, real parties. Like, getting home. But the thing was, the reason why my mom let me do it was because I was a mature, responsible 12-year-old. Like, my thing was, like, one time my mom let me go to a party and I was like, it's late as hell. Let me go back home. I came back home like at 11. She's like, "Oh, you back early?" I was like, "Yeah, that ain't happening." And this is like why my mom was like, my mom gave me like the string that she gave me, because I just was, I knew certain situations I wasn't meant to be in. I almost got killed in a house party, and I'm like buttered in there drinking, doing crazy stuff. Literally, someone pulled out a gun, and it took from my cousins because when I drink a lot, I can't see.
I didn't mean to derail. I just had to keep it real.
Because wait a minute, what?
Can I say
Go
what's
ahead.
up?
Go ahead, D.
So the situation about the shooting in there, that's kind of upsetting.
It was.
In fact, it's Airbnb. This does more than just tarnish those people who are involved with that. It tarnishes like someone like me that uses it, because now they're going to go through an extra vetting process, and they're probably not going to allow children under a certain age, you know?
Well, you're not supposed to have parties there.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying, that the people who own homes now are going to look into who's coming around. They'll come around and look, and if you have an extra guest, like what I do is I ask, can I invite others, and they'll say yes, it's fine. But now that's probably going to be a no going forward, and they'll charge you an extra fee. Like, they'll probably take a $500 deposit rather than just $100 or $200. And this is just going to have negative consequences for those who actually are honest renters. And the children missing part, like where the parents, I understand, you had an unconventional upbringing, but I wasn't allowed to do stuff like that. And my mom would never allow something like that. And I would die. I would be dead before something like that happened.
My mother, I didn't go live with my mom until I was like 13 or 14. So, like, I was literally like visiting. So my mom was trying to be the cool mom because she wasn't there. So I think that's what that was about. But I also was very mature with my mom. I didn't lie to my mom. Like I was very honest and upfront because we didn't have a relationship where I needed to lie to her because she was open to me talking to her. But my whole thing is though, 200 children, like for me as a mom, I'm afraid of what can happen at parties because of what happened at parties when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
I know what goes on in them. You're passing the blood, you're passing alcohol. Like we always had a bottle of Cisco and we weren't even old enough to buy Cisco. We would go down to Big A's and they would just let us buy Cisco. I was literally 16, 17 years old buying Cisco at house to go to a house party. Okay. And like I said, like for some reason, when I drink a lot, I can't see. Like I can't see, and so I'm in this party, can't see because I'm drunk. I didn't drink a whole bottle of Cisco to myself. And
at 12,
like literally, I'm sorry.
At 12,
no, 17 or I think I was 16. I was 16.
That's not
Don't
what
be
you
judging
better.
Don't be judging me.
You were 12.
No. This was a different house party. When I was 12, and I went to this one particular house party where it got shot up. I was so drunk and everybody's running out and I barely could see it. And it took for my little cousin and kind of think about it. He shouldn't have been there because I think he was like 12 for real. And he was pulling me out the street like, bitch, come on. You know, and I can't see. I literally couldn't see. And that's when I kind of changed my lifestyle a little bit. And I was like, yeah, this ain't it. But then I was like, I threw a lot of parties. I was known the next time to throw some parties. But my parties were always safe because we always patted people down. There was no guns coming up in there or nothing. We always patted people down. And if you didn't want to get pat down, you didn't come in. But Dennis, I wanted to address something.
We used to get through that shit. You know, the no gun pat down. Let me tell you what we used to do in my neighborhood. We used to they would have the pat down, right? So we would always act like these goddamn security guards are stupid as fuck. We would have a cereal box and we would have a whole box of cereal and at the party eating cereal with the hammer inside the cereal. We eat one cereal of Fruit Loops at a time, have the hammer right inside there. Nobody picked up on it.
I know what not to look for.
Right.
Ain't Shaka.
Nobody.
Cereal. I'm like, I got enough cereal. Give me that box.
So
it was like 8, 9 of us, and nobody caught on at all.
Okay, so real quick, let me say this to Dennis because, first of all, I'm saying a prayer for all the people who were affected by that party and parents going forward. I know that everyone wants their children to enjoy life and be teenagers. And to be honest, those kids should have been out being able to enjoy their time and having fun. But unfortunately, we don't live in those times anymore where you can be a kid, go out to a party and be safe. It's just a very dangerous world now that we live in. It's been dangerous, but it's just so many just hidden dangers now that you wouldn't even perceive to be a danger. So let's be very vigilant with our children. Let's get into a habit of vetting where they're going. Let's call the parents. If the parents can't tell us what time the party starts, what time it ends, our children cannot go. I know it's hard to be the bad guy sometimes, but let's keep our children safe. Hashtag, let's keep our children safe. We cannot afford for our children to be losing their lives over a party because what happened there was horrible. That was a mass shooting. That's what that was. And whoever rented that Airbnb need to be held responsible too because they knew what was going on.
Yep.
They knew what was going on. So I wanted to.
I'm very bewildered because black people, we shoot, but we don't do mass shootings. That's usually some white people shit.
Here's the situation. Here's the situation. The past 3 weeks, you had mass shooting at this house party. You had mass shooting in New York at the subway. Okay, white people. You had mass shooting. Actually, you had another black mass shooting at that mall. I forgot. I think it's in Denver or somewhere. And then
that's
white people.
I'm bewildered at because we don't do that shit.
Hold on. You had two hold on. You had two white mass shootings also the past 4 weeks. 3 or more people shot. But guess what? We account once again for 13% of the population. They account for 60% of the population, and we don't call out nothing that we do when, in fact, we're close to the amount of deaths that white people have.
Do you know why?
I actually hold on, Laura. I am so sorry. I'll give you your kudos on that shit because I didn't hear about New York because I'm here, of course. Any of the other stuff that was going on, I didn't hear a word of this shit until Laura sent me the.
Black lives don't matter to news agencies. Black lives don't matter. They don't care when we kill each other or we die, but when white people die, Asian people die especially, guess what? It's all over the news, and that's my gripe, the fact that if we stop killing each other, we're good. We stop killing each other, we eat healthy, we're good. Those are our two main things that kill us. Other than that,
you realize that but you do realize that you can't say black on black crime because people die in the proximity of the people that they're in. White people kill white people. It's not just, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not going to a trailer park looking for Billy Bob if we got beef because he's in a trailer park that's somewhere real far away. If I see him, I'll see him. But this nigga at the corner store who just said "fuck my mama," I can see him. It's a proximity thing, I believe.
Whoa! But he says that, and your first response is to
kill him.
Yeah, like that's kind of petty.
I'm just using that as an example.
So we're gonna
people die over that, and people die over that goofy shit. I was just using an example. It's a terrible example, but it does happen.
So
give me a better one.
Yeah, give us a better one.
Killed my brother, so I killed him. That kind of thing. That makes sense.
No. If we're gonna be real, we're gonna be real. That shit happens every fucking day. But it's a proximity thing. Go ahead, bro.
Hold on, you did that analogy I said earlier. You're the type of person that I'll say something like older people they die before the age of 100. You're gonna say, oh no, what are you talking about? My great aunt made it until she was 102. Of course, you might have a small few people that make it past 100, but majority of people are gonna die before the age of 100. That's what you do when it comes to like us doing the things that are causing our deaths. You might have had 20 black men shot unjustly by cops. I'm sorry, you got shot. But that's we have 60 million people in this country. 20 black men shot unjustly. They don't deserve to die, whatever you want to say. But we have thousands of us dying because of our own hands, and thousands more dying because of health reasons.
Heart disease.
Rectify that, and we discussed that. Yeah, heart disease. We rectify that. We wouldn't have these issues, and we wouldn't be feeling like victims. But instead, we don't want to talk about none of these issues. The only thing we talk about and we rally for, and you see on the news, is the one black criminal usually who gets shot by the cops because he's resisting. That's why I be so upset and triggered.
This is how we fix. This is how we fix these problems. This is how we fix these problems. And it ain't even about love, like Alora suggested earlier.
It is about love.
It's poverty. People are doing shit because they're in horrible situations.
That's true.
Horrible situations.
Right.
So if you want to take away all these murders and all this other good shit, you take away the conditions that cause it. Give us the equal. Malcolm X said this shit back in the 60s. I'm not calling for segregation like brother was before he got enlightened. But he said, all right, y'all don't like us. Y'all don't like us. Give us this so we can start our own land and y'all won't have to deal with it. Now, I'm not suggesting that, but if you allocate whatever is due to us for the things that you did, then maybe we can be in better standing with each other because we're not in poverty. Now there's no reason for us to sell drugs and to do things against each other because we're all can flourish.
Nope.
And since we commit crimes at a higher rate than anybody else, if you give us equal footing, wouldn't that decrease crime in America? Wouldn't that make this a more desirable place?
No. Check this out. You're looking at what's called pie in the sky. Shaka, what you're looking at is called utopia. It doesn't exist. Even if you give anybody everything they wanted, they'll still do bad things.
No, let me say
because
this.
people can
Let me
be
jump in there.
very evil, and that's
No.
out there. So guess what? You were like, why? You have everything. Why are you going to do this? Because
The crimes that
No, I acknowledge
black
that people are
men-
evil,
the
but
crimes
it'd be
that
at a
black
lesser
men
rate.
get arrested for
no, it would
is
be
usually crimes that kind of support their families. Black men rob other black men because they need to feed their babies. It's not always about what they have and they want what they
There's
have.
so many jobs out here. That's a terrible excuse. There's
There's
many
over
jobs,
like
but
6
there's more
million
I
jobs.
swear to goodness, that is such bullshit. But you know what
There's over
happens
6
though?
million
What
jobs
happens?
available right
What
now,
happens
open.
is these young black men, they'll make one mistake, they'll get a criminal record. How about the dude who missed court because he had to walk? I forgot why he had something happened where he was either incarcerated or something, and that judge still put that man in jail and gave that man a criminal record when he had a real reason to not be in court. So let's not say these things don't happen. And to Dennis, you said that we were challenging your blackness. It's not really challenging your blackness. It's me not understanding how you don't connect with your community on some things. I'm not challenging your blackness and saying that because you don't understand you're not black. I'm just saying one day, black man, the things that you're talking about is going to come to you, and you're going to be like that young brother who got stabbed and got killed. You're going to be like that man needing your community to step for you. That's what's going to happen if you keep on.
Yeah, let's not put that in the air.
But
instead, my nigga Dennis is like, I hate Whoopi Goldberg's lips. I hate my gums when they black.
Nah, you know what?
And most of all,
you know what? It's the
I hate that black ass Wesley Snipes.
Nah, you know what it is though? You know what it is though?
You should be a police officer. You can do that.
Y'all refused. Y'all refused for us to grow. Jewish people, when they came here with nothing, they stuck together. Two parents.
What you mean nothing? They got reparations.
No, they did
Hold on,
not.
Hold on. Nope, they didn't get no reparations. But hold on. They stuck with two-parent households. They stuck with focusing on education that was given them in America for free, and they focused on not doing crime. And they stuck together as a community. They didn't hurt each other. They gave each other. They boosted each other's up. If somebody was on the street homeless, why do you think you don't see too many Asians and Jewish people homeless? It's because if they don't know each other, they don't know somebody, they're going to take care of that Asian person that's on the street. They're going to invite that person in their home. They're going to give that person enough money to get back on their feet. Unless, of course, they're serial drug, they're just stuck because of drugs but you don't see it. That's the reason why you don't see Asians, you don't see Jewish people, and you rarely see Indian people homeless. It's only black and white people because we don't stick together. And that's the point I'm trying to make. We need to do more sticking together and more sharing good ideas.
So you guys said that Jewish people did not receive reparations for the Holocaust? Who taught y'all that?
They didn't get reparations.
Shaka. Yes, they did. Shaka.
They didn't get 40 acres and a mule.
Shaka. Who owns
I know the
Muslim
Japanese got it. Jewish people.
Okay.
They didn't get okay. So you know what? Were they handed that, or did they work for it?
They
were handed this. There was $1 billion that was allocated from the Germans for them.
The Jewish people have been running banks since the freaking BC era. Are you kidding me? They have been around for years.
Hold on, let me pull up some stuff for
years running the banks. As soon as they got a chance to run banks, they was running banks. They was running banks so much that the freaking Germans kicked them out of Poland.
Okay.
And they went and ran banks elsewhere.
Hold on. Let me give you guys something. Okay. So there's a reparation fund from the German government that the Jewish community received.
That's fine and dandy, but do you know when that started? After World War II. These guys have been in banks before that.
$91.9 million is what was allocated to them.
Okay, that's fine. That's everyone who lived in Jerusalem and who lived in Poland.
No.
Those are the people who were.
They're the people. The guy who received some of this, who just received it, lives in fucking Florida.
Yeah, and his family is descended from that. Are you kidding me?
Okay, where the fuck are reparations at? My family's descended from a different place.
They're not from Germany. They're not from Germany.
Bogus.
Well, your family from
Y'all
Germany.
bogus. Y'all
Your family
bogus.
from Germany. Then you
You
go
know,
and tell them that
somehow,
you're a Jewish person.
You know,
You have Jewish
the
faith.
Japanese got reparations for
They
World War
got
II.
$1.6 billion from us.
The Jews got it, but the difference is we weren't considered people.
Exactly. But they're saying they didn't get anything.
No, what I said is Jewish people have been in banks. Look at the history of the
I'm
Jewish
looking at the data, Brandon.
No,
I
no,
need you,
you're looking
Brandon,
you're looking at post World
Brandon, I
War
love
II.
you.
No,
I love you.
you're
I love
looking
you. I
at
love you, B. But
You're
yo,
looking at
you gotta
fucking
do
post
some-
World
you
War
gotta-
II.
You gotta do some more research too,
Stop.
bro.
No,
But I
you need
think
to do more
I
research.
think
You need
I
to look
think
at
this
the
is I
thousands
think
of
this
years
is I think
these
this
guys
is
have
what
been
matters.
controlling banks.
And I think this
Listen
is
to
what
I'm saying.
I think this is what Allah is trying to say. What Allah is trying to say is, all right, now let's exclude it. Her argument is after the
And
atrocities
it
that was
started
done to
getting it
them,
in the 1950s, to be
the
exact.
atrocities
World
that
War
was
II.
It
yeah,
doesn't
the
matter. They
atrocities
started getting it.
the atrocities that was done to them, they were broke off for it. That's her argument. That's all she's saying.
That was done by the German government. That's Germany, man. That has
The
nothing to do
U.S.
with
gave
us.
them money too, just like we gave fucking Japan. We've been through more than Japan. They gonna pay Japan one point something million, and then
They
who
didn't
the
throw
other
a
one
nuke
that
on
got
Africa.
something else?
They didn't
I
bomb
got a
two
question.
friggin' countries.
I got a question. What happened?
They didn't bomb Jewish because they didn't bomb us is not all right.
What was
They took us
They
off
did bomb
fucking
us. They
land.
bombed us over down there in on the Black Wall Street. They bombed our asses over in Oklahoma.
No, they didn't use a nuke.
They dropped a whole bomb on the
drop
whole
a
black
nuke.
community.
Okay.
No, nuke.
Okay, I got a question. I got a question for you. What was worse for when was racism worse for black people? Before 1950s or after?
Oh Lord.
After. They got a lot
Okay,
worse after.
you said after? You said it was worse after?
Mhm.
No.
It got worse.
So worse than
after.
slavery.
When
Worse
the
than
media
slavery.
started
Worse than
bringing it in.
segregation.
When the media started bringing it in, it got worse.
Well, I don't understand what Dennis is trying to get at. What are you trying to get at?
The whole point I'm making is you had at the end of slavery, then you had segregation, and you had literally we didn't have civil rights. We were doing better as people. Women were married, 18% of women were married compared to 25% of women, or 18% of I got it backwards. 82% of women were married. Black women were married, okay? Now compared to 25% of black women married, you had more kids being born in a two-parent household. We did better when it came to school, and we did better when it came to crime. Okay, so now why after 1950 have we declined to where we got the worst numbers in the 2000s, and it's getting worse?
Because they took our communities, Dennis. Because they took our communities. They gave us really bad bank loans. What was called predatory loans. And once they did that, and the black mothers could not pay,
we didn't get loans back in the day, though.
That's what built Harlem.
No,
Harlem was a wealthy black community.
They did start getting loans. A lot of black people did own their homes back then, because some of them got it from when they got free from being slaves, and the homes were lended. The homes were passed down. Some people took loans against their houses, and those loans, guess what? The interest rates on them was ridiculous. That's why they started programs like NACA, because NACA was built for black communities who were preyed upon from banks who wanted to commit. They knew they can get some money through people who were.
And then there's other things. There's no bottom line. There's other things that happen, like around the fucking 70s, according to your numbers. The 70s is when the government started saying, "Hey, you want this type of subsidy or this welfare or whatever it is, loan, WIC, shit like that. You can't have a black man in the house. You can't have a man, not a black man. You can't have a husband in the house.
You can't be married.
You can't be married. So a lot of shit, and to do it, you have to get the man in jail if you wanted to get certain things. You have to. That shit happened. It happened to my mom. My mom had to get my brother's father arrested back in the 70s so she can get certain shit. But that was the law of the land back then.
Yeah.
That was the law of the land back then. In order to get certain help from the government, you had to put the man in jail.
Yeah.
And my brother's father took that shit like a G, like, yo, I understand. We need this money. We gotta do what we gotta do.
Upstairs, go to bed.
We got to do. He ain't take that shit personal. It was what it was. But so many fucking black men became bitter over that shit. Like there's a whole lot of fucking bullshit that goes on. I'm not trying to blame the white man for our problems, but to say that they're not complicit in some of this shit is just irresponsible. I'm sorry, bro. It is.
It's the liberal. It's Democrats. It's the liberal movement. It's Democrats.
And back in the day, they didn't
Democrats
take
are
education
positive.
as serious. They rather
Because
had their
here's the thing,
sons at
think
home
about it,
working
think
the
about it
field.
like this. Our black women still don't got our back. Our black women still
Bullshit.
refuse to be led by men. Our black women
Man,
refuse
you
to
know
be led by men. They think they can do it on their own. they think they can do it on
Bullshit,
their own.
Dennis.
And now these kids are being born without fathers.
Bullshit.
No, I
Dennis,
agree
so
with Dennis
many
to some degree.
So many black women have had no choice but to be the leaders in their households because the cops have took their men.
They choose
So
back.
if there's no men in the street, no good men usually, because you got to think about it. The women in some of these situations, they're dating, like Shaka said. I'm not gonna go to the trailer park looking for no man. I'm gonna date
They
what's
don't
around
have
me.
to. They say they want to date Russell Wilson. They said he's
Listen,
lame, he's corny. If he
Dennis,
didn't have the money,
Dennis,
they
please.
would not date Russell Wilson if he didn't have the
I
money.
gave you all your little time. Let me get mine. Okay?
Go ahead.
Listen.
Go ahead. My bad.
Yo, man.
Listen, the women that are missing some of the men in their homes, they're dating some of the guys. If they're in the projects, right? They're gonna date the bums that's around them. Some of them are bums. They're gonna date the men that's around them, and usually that man is gonna be selling drugs, gonna be in the streets, and he's gonna get incarcerated. Am I saying that this is something that should be happening? No, but it is a thing. It is a thing, and that's because these women, some of these women, don't understand that they are equality, and they have options outside of where they're at, and they don't venture off. When you get complacent, what you're gonna do? You're gonna look down the street. You're gonna look over here. You're not gonna venture out of your bubble and see what's over here outside of that bubble and give that person a chance. Because if you're programmed for a little Taekwon, guess what? You're gonna keep attracting Taekwons
Oh, what about Tyrone's?
or Tyrones. Period.
Got
But some women
Dennis.
are getting hip. A lot of women are getting hip, and they know they have to venture off. You know,
Dennis.
and a lot of young men are getting hip. I'm seeing so many young black men graduate school. They're being focused on college. There is a change.
Dennis, I side with you when it comes to the situation about our women nowadays. So
Lord.
we here. Okay. I can only speak to my vantage point. And my vantage
That wasn't
point,
that for anybody
I side with you, Jack. I just want that to be known.
I'm good.
Well, I mean, it's just I'm just all about solutions. That's it. I shouldn't be less than black because I come up with solutions to issues. Stop resisting arrest. Our women need to stop creating single.
That don't make you less than black, Dennis.
Single mothers create more single mothers. And then
It doesn't make you less than black. It makes you a little bit misguided. It doesn't make you less than black. It's a little misguided.
I'm trying to.
I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Change the narrative.
That's your.
It's not that simple.
Because, but
it's absolutely not. It's not that cut and dry. Because
Fathers who walk away create single mothers.
Sometimes you have to walk away, but there's some situations that you're not supposed to be in, and I can speak for those.
You still should be.
But what about the men? What about the men who label women who are good women and decide they still want to chase all these Keishas, Laquans, Ladons, and all them?
Y'all choose those men. Y'all choose those men though. Those are.
Are you with your baby
in our
mother?
Culture.
He chases them.
I guess she chose you then, right?
Yeah, Dennis, you be chasing
my first one chose the thumb.
Yeah, to ejaculate. That's it.
I set my first.
But shit happens.
Hold on. I set my first one up. She chose to have a kid with another man, a drug dealer or another dude. She chose to have that man, the kid, put the kid on me, then take the kid back after I raised the kid, and then my second kid, mom, simply walked away for somebody else.
Excuses. But anyways, so
that's not nice.
I can't tie women down.
Dennis know I be fucking with him. I love him so much. But
it's
at the end
not-
of
I can't put a ball and chain on a woman.
Dennis is my
Y'all
boo. That's
choose
my
to
boo
walk away from
thing. You know that.
relationship.
So, anyways,
No, but the whole point is y'all black women don't hold y'all man
Nope.
down until that changes.
Hey,
y'all again.
hey, Dennis.
No, it's the truth.
Dennis, hold up. We had this conversation. You
I
can
don't
only
think- I don't think white
no,
women.
You need to keep your experience.
Dennis, you do date
as
white
an
women. Stop
individual thing.
lying.
Keep your experience
I've dated
individual.
two
Do not
white women
box
my
them
whole
all
life.
in there.
It's okay,
Don't box
Dennis.
them
If
all
you
in.
secretly want to be with a white woman, ain't nobody gonna judge you. This
Nobody
is
see you.
2022.
Do what you do,
Love
man.
who you love, boo.
No, I want to marry black. But I mean, at this point, I might end up.
Boy, you don't want to marry nothing black. Stop lying.
I'm going.
Dennis.
Listen, I'm going to love who loves me. Like if
Dennis.
my
Love
goal
who
is to
loves
That's
marry
how
a
I
black
am.
woman,
I'm gonna love whoever loves
I'm going
me.
to love who loves me.
Dennis
But
in
when I do decide to love who loves me, if she's not a woman of our diaspora, I don't want to hear no shit. Women, oh fuck that nigga. This is the difference, because women will go get themselves a Beckham, and then sisters will be like, get it, girl. But if I walk down the block with Amy or Becky, they're like, oh, look at that fucking sellout ass nigga, the sellout nigga. He turned his back on the
Dennis trying
sisters.
to get the,
That's
you
the
trying to
duplicity
get
of women.
No.
DMX route, huh?
Wait a minute. I would never do that, because my whole thing is, if you love her and she loves you, that is cool. The only problem I have with black men who date white women is they start to trash us. It was just like that young man who got stabbed, and you see his post and how he just degraded us so bad and just basically said we weren't shit. I have a problem with that. I do not have a problem with you loving a white woman. When I see interracial couples, I look at them and I be like, okay, y'all, go and do y'all, because I know it's a hard thing. It is a hard thing to be an interracial couple, because people still hate.
Well, if it's a situation, it depends on the situation. Like for instance, Key and Peele, right? They said that they married white women, and Childish Gambino, the same thing. He was like, yo, I love sisters. They just didn't love me. So I went and I found love from who loved me. They basically, the three of them basically said the same thing.
Men
and
like that
women
confuse,
tore
men
them
like
the
that,
fuck down.
Men like that confuse us, because he also talk about the problems that he has from white people. He talks about that. He raps about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, okay.
No, white people are evil.
So why?
I am evil.
So why go marry a white woman if you're having these problems? And then the number one thing these men do after they marry these women and they bash us, they tell us how these women, they call them the N-words, call their kids the N-words. Every time you see an interracial couple on divorce court or on paternity court, that word always comes into play. And it's always race. And we get confused about that. Shit, Childish Gambino? I don't know who that is. No, yes, I do. Danny Glover. He is my type of guy. I love those weird ass dudes.
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover. I think he is weird. And the thing is, he hasn't found. There are women who would love him, but he's around a certain type of group of women. That's why I said you got to venture off. He's in the Hollywood life where all the black women there, most of the black women there, those bitches looking for status. Come and venture down to us standard as women who know we're probably like a 5 or 6, and we're okay with that, and we don't need your money. All we need is your love.
He didn't marry a celebrity. He married somebody before he got on, if my memory is correct.
I'm not talking about celebrity. I'm talking about the women that surround Hollywood.
But what I'm saying is, he got married to somebody
before he made it to Hollywood.
He's married before he made it to Hollywood.
Those are the women who, those type of black women, they're looking for something from him. If he would have removed himself from the dating site in Hollywood and just ventured off to regular Asville, he would have found him a black woman who would have loved him from him. The problem with some of these men
before he made it to Hollywood.
That's what I'm saying. He got married
before he
married a white girl before he made it to Hollywood. Coming up, he said he loved black women, but they just didn't fuck with him. Key and Peele said the same thing. They married white women. But see, but that's the thing. Women women, our women,
Black women ain't checking for your ass because the shit you say.
Our women beat those men down to the ground for their stance. So how can you get mad at somebody being bitter at you when all my life I've tried to love you and all you did was shit on me? Now, this doesn't speak for everybody, but we can only go by his vantage point. And by his vantage point, the women that he dated from his diaspora treated him like shit. So how can you stop somebody? It's like us yelling at you guys. Hold on.
Tell you guys. Go ahead, Shaka. Hurry up, boy.
Is the same thing with us making this whole fight about the fucking cops. We have experiences where the cop, or we've seen things where the cops treat us like shit. So how can you get mad? How can the cop look at me and get mad at me for saying fuck the police when all I've seen you do is treat my people like shit? It's the same thing.
I mean, I get that, but what I was trying to say was, I think also that Black men, if you guys want to date outside your race, I think most Black women would be so cool with that. I think for us is really don't bash us. Don't bash us, because guess what? There is a lot of men who aren't made for Black women, I believe. There's a lot of Black women who aren't made for Black men. And I just think that's the way it is. But if you're going to date outside your race, do that shit. Do that shit and love that shit. But you don't have to be. That's like that one Black girl who always talking about Black men ain't shit. Like, bitch, shut up. Because they want your ugly ass anyway. That's why you got fucking Roger over there.
I'm gonna come out the way you at. We gonna go white girl hunting, Jack. Me and you. You know what I'm saying? We gonna do that. The white women got good credit. They suck dick and they getting asses now. So we gonna come up, Jack. Me and you. Just let me know.
But there are Black women like that too. You just gotta know where to find them. Here in Charlotte, these Black women down here, these bitches winning. Period. Let me not call them bitches. God forgive me. These women are winning.
Do they?
The problem is.
Do they give
the problem is some Black men's egos are so big that they can't handle a Black woman in position, and then they want to belittle them, or they feel I need a woman I can speak down to. And sometimes
I just want a woman to stay quiet.
We got the only group. No, yeah, we got the only group of women who don't understand their place. Like, we're the only group. All other women know that the man is the leader. Choose a man that you feel like you can be led by. I get it. Some women who don't want to be
really, because Latin women,
they can stay.
Latin women will beat a man's ass too. What are you talking about?
But a Latin woman ain't leaving.
I didn't say nothing about
don't
fighting.
Again.
You just got violent. I didn't say nothing about violence.
Hold up. In
Latin women don't leave.
In Hispanic households, women are the leaders. Men are the providers. The women are the ones that lead the family.
Women, and women,
Hispanic household. So you can't say that.
Hispanic women don't leave their relationship either. It don't matter what the fuck they do to them. They not going nowhere.
Yep.
And that's because they're about family. And most of those people.
No, but guess what? That man can be the corniest guy. That man can come home with $100.
No one should be stuck in something just because it's tradition to stay there.
No, but
unless you're Latin, because Latin women ain't leaving their man.
Latino.
They will cheat on them.
Here's the thing: their man.
I know a bunch of divorced Latin women. Most of them reside in Youngstown.
Latin women will cheat on them.
Okay, so here we go. Let me say this right quick. So I got it. Every group of women on this earth are better than Black women. Black women, we fail at everything. There we go.
No.
Because that is the census. That is the census that you guys always do, and that's what we're tired of. Stop fucking comparing us to all different type of group of women.
Except Vivaz. Come on now.
We're not the same. Let me tell you something about Black women. Black women, the one group of fucking women is, and if you're fucking starving, we're gonna go out there and go get it. Our children aren't gonna fucking starve out here. We're gonna take fucking beans, some ham hocks and shit, and we're gonna create a meal for 20. Okay, that's the type of shit that we do. If our man is down on his luck and he can't provide, we're gonna get out there and we're gonna get this fucking money. How the fuck you think these Black men that are now CEOs made it? Because of women like Felicia Rashad, women like Michelle Obama, and other Black women. And I'm not even I'm naming the fucking celebrities. So don't come for our fucking necks because none of you fucking black men would be here if it wasn't for us birthing you.
Okay.
Okay.
It is accepting me.
Okay, so why
Lord.
one in four
It's accepting me now.
why is 1 in 4 black women getting married then? Since that's the case, why is
Because our men devalue us so much that every other fucking race does it too. Every other fucking race. Black men are more black men are so okay with marrying a white woman, and that bitch can call you a nigger 100 fucking times. But the moment a black woman opens her mouth to speak back to you, we a problem. That's slave mentality, my brother. That is slave mentality. Okay. And we have a lot of black men who are conformed at the joints with that. We don't have no problems with you dating who you love. Love who you love, because love is love. Period. But bitch, don't come for me. That's where that is.
Nobody
Black
came
women,
for you.
we're always fucking defending ourselves. I know y'all not, but I'm just saying in general, men. Like, do you know how hard it is? Like, just dating. Like, I tried to date black men and I tried dating white men. I came to the senses that white men were not for me. Because when a white man tries to date me, I'm an exotic thing. He wants to bed me. He wants to see what the experience is like to be with a black woman. I am not for that. If you want to date me because you think I'm funny. Date me because you think I'm smart. But don't tell me about, I hear y'all black women are feisty. I've heard that shit. And it sits there and it turns me off. And it's just like, is that what you guys talk about? You want our aggression in the bedroom? Yeah, I hear black men talk about how y'all don't take no shit. I'm like, so this is what our black men are teaching other race. But you guys don't understand. It's hard to love on someone who doesn't even put a value to themselves or you. How am I supposed to love you when you don't even value me? Our men body shame so bad and secretly love the fuck out of thick women. I had a dude ask me out privately before. That dude wanted to drink the bath water. That nigga wanted to eat my ass. But publicly, I'm sorry. You're kind of big, and I'm like, bitch, please keep it moving, because I'm not into pencil dicks anyway. The fuck?
Oh. Larger women have fire between their legs. I'm just want to say what it is. Like, larger women got fire.
This is the problem. This is the problem that she's not pointing out, okay? With black men, we want black women, but black women don't want us in the same
Dennis, I remember back in the day, I had the biggest crush on you, and you paid me no mind.
You never told me that. You never told me that, and I was lame. Nope, you never told me that, and I was lame. I didn't get no girls. You realize I didn't lose my virginity until I was 17 years old because I couldn't get a girl because I was too square. Because I believed in marriage after.
Let me tell you. I liked it. I liked the squares, but because I didn't have no breasts. I was flat chested as hell. Everybody was after the bigger breast girls back in the day. Only thing I had was booty. That was it. I was a flat chested big booty chick. That was it. And y'all dudes back in the day, y'all wanted all the boobs. And
sorry for those niggas.
Y'all didn't realize
I've always been an ass man.
There were good girls who liked y'all, but y'all always went after the wrong things, and that's the problem with black men now. Y'all go after the wrong things. Still.
That's not true because that's not true. Because both my exes, you remember
slim waist. Hold on, wait a minute. I hear it all the time. Slim waist. You know, the big badunkadunks. That's what you guys want. You guys don't want no full figure woman.
No,
look how they do
I just
Lizzo.
want a woman.
Lizzo,
I just want a woman that's quiet.
Lizzo might be a bad example because Lizzo do too much, but Lizzo is a full figure woman.
Yeah,
but she is beautiful.
Makes me nauseous.
She does way too much. She does way too much.
She does do too much.
She makes me nauseous with her eccentric.
Yeah, she does way too.
She does.
That ain't eccentric. She's thirsty for attention, and that's.
But look at it though. Why is she thirsty for attention? Because men won't pay her no attention unless she acts out. Because guess what? You guys are going to overlook her because she doesn't have the typical body that, Hollywood says she should have. So she feels like her accentuating.
No, she can go and work out. She can go work out.
Dennis,
That's
if
not nice.
she's okay with her body and
No,
she's
she's
okay with her.
unhealthy. No, I'm saying she's unhealthy.
Okay, so I know how you feel about me now.
Ouch.
No, it ain't that. No, you're missing the point.
I'm no
She's
different from
promoting
Lizzo. I'm
unhealthy
literally no different
lifestyle.
from Lizzo.
No, here's the difference. You're trying to change, and you're on a diet, and you are in there working out
I
every
know you
single
just
day.
see me eat these
Lizzo-
macaroni bites.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the point.
It's
Here's
your
the
cheat
point. You
day. It's your cheat day.
understand
You good?
that your health, you have to adjust your health to be a healthier person. She's out here promoting to these kids that you can freaking eat yourself to a weight that you can literally die before the age of 50. Like, she's promoting that. Like, she's not gonna make it if she continues growing at the rate she is. She's gaining like 20 pounds a year.
It's not even.
You don't
It's
know
not even
that
that for
woman's
me.
weight.
Big Mac.
No, she
It's not even.
she actually
It's
came
not
in the
not
interview.
even.
She said she's gaining weight. She said she's purposely trying to gain weight. And
It's not.
you see how what
It's
you
not
call
the.
it, Adele. You see how Adele lost weight because she knew she had to be healthy because of the fact you can
No,
die
she
at early
lost weight
ages.
because of her husband.
Everybody went off on her though when she lost that weight. Now she's healthier, and everybody went off on her because nobody wants to use common sense. Like, you are sitting there, you're in a diet because of that reason.
To be honest, Dennis, let me tell you something. Let me say something to you. And I know this is going to shock the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
When I look in the mirror, I think I'm beautiful. I love me at this size. The thing that scares me is losing weight and me not really know who I am, because I love full figure me. I love my face. I love my cheeks. I just love me. But I know that if I wanted to date, I have to adjust me. I know that because there is definitely not a lot of men out there who love plus size women, and definitely not black men anymore. Black men used to love that. I felt so comfortable with my body because my black men used to love my body type. Black men were like, yes, thick in the hips, nice slim waist, and all this thickness and all of this stuff. I just want to eat peanut butter and jelly off your thighs, girl. And I'd be like, nigga, grab the bread, okay? Period. Seriously, but I love me, and I love looking in the mirror. I love when I smile, my cheeks are high. I love my pudgy cheeks. I love me, but I know that in order for me to date how I want to date, I will have to adjust me, you know. But Lizzo, I'm okay with that, but I'm okay with doing it too because I need to be healthier. But Lizzo doesn't feel that way. Lizzo is just like, bitch, I'm me, I'm thick, I got cottage cheese, and it is what it is. I got cottage cheese, and I look at it like, bitch, no, cellulite not working. So I'm gonna go do some squats.
It's not,
you know,
it's not very tasteful at all. Like,
I'm
me,
telling you, what you wear.
far be it from me to judge anybody because they size. Because I'm a fucking Goodyear blunt myself. But I'm not gonna walk outside with muscle shirts and have my pectoral muscle.
Hold on, wait. You're fat. You're fat.
My man. See,
are you serious?
See, you know what I'm saying?
No,
I know it's hard to know. It's hard to notice. It's hard to notice.
I looked at your pictures and you look perfectly fine.
No. I'm not saying that there's a problem with me. But what I'm saying is I'm not going to do anything to exacerbate whatever.
Make it look.
I'm not.
Don't
right.
So I'm equal opportunity. Like, I think Lizzo is tasteless as a motherfucker with the shit she does. It's not about her being big. What she's doing is fucking tasteless.
It looks bad.
Somebody and I put it someplace else. Just because you find don't mean you have to do this shit too. Chloe Bailey, right? Her physique is phenomenal. But it's to the point with her. I'm like, bitch, put on some fucking clothes. Like, you don't need to. Chloe Bailey is. Excuse me. Chloe Bailey is so talented. She don't have to do none of the shit that she does.
She's doing it makes it hard. It makes it hard to see her talent. But you know what?
Exactly. But she got more talent in her pinky than half these R&B chicks have nowadays.
She does. She really does. But
you know what I'm saying? So it's about taste. It's not about her size.
But guess what? Chloe was a conservative woman. You know how she was. And she wasn't getting no play. So this was her thing. Okay. So maybe if I do this, then they'll start to notice me. And some women think that way. Like
Yeah,
me,
but she's only being
I just
seen as
like
a sex symbol.
I just like showing cleavage. I'm gonna show cleavage because I like to look down and I be like, damn, bitch, that skin look good. Your skin
Yeah, but
complexion,
that-
honey, it is yes. But
that
I'm not
comes
gonna
with- But then here's the
I would
thing,
never be
because
disrespectful
y'all
to
y'all
you,
have
to your
y'all y'all
husband.
have
That's the
y'all
reason why I
y'all
never ever.
y'all have y'all titties out and stuff like that, and then get mad when men look. It's like, what do you
I
want
don't
me to
get.
do? Like
I'm
they're
not gonna
there.
get mad.
Like,
I'm not gonna get mad if you look. Just don't disrespect and touch me, because there's a difference between me looking in the mirror. Because I think some men misconstrue like women, especially plus size women. When we go buy an outfit and it fits our body right, and we're like, yes, bitch, yes. It makes you love on you a little bit more. It's not necessarily for the outside world. Like some women, we need pick me
bullshit.
up.
Your titties is out because they deserve attention. When I see a woman with big breasts, I just want like BVAS. I want to go.
I do that
The
for my
champ is here.
husband because my husband is a breast man, and I know why. While I'm sitting here looking the way I'm looking, and he's producing, he's over there looking at his lips while looking at me, and I'd be like, "Yeah, Daddy, you like that, right? Yeah, okay." You know, like that's our thing. Like that's our thing. Or like I'll show up to like because we go on like lunch dates. I'll make sure I show up to his to our spot and I look damn good because when he gets off, I want him to know like I'm ready for you.
He's
okay?
getting off. She wants
Right.
to know,
Or I just want him to remember because sometimes I'm always in mommy mode. I want him to remember that I'm beautiful and I could be sexy and I could be all that he needs me to be. I don't want him to forget that, hey, I can turn this on and off, you know, because when you've been together for as long as we have, sometimes you forget that, you know.
Yep.
So I try to make
grab the
sure
belt,
I look
right?
good for him at all times. Like, you know, it'd be hard some days because I got to
You
get
show
up
up
every
with
day.
the belt too, right? Vet, at your
Oh yeah,
lunch?
no, you know what? He told me no because he thought I was almost dead. But I was like,
Laura, let me tell you a secret. We spoke about this already.
oh yeah,
You have a vagina. Okay? You're married with children. You have a vagina. Okay? You'll never be cool again.
I just remember what you.
I want pussy, not no damn vagina.
Well, he said you're wrong. He says I definitely have that. So, period.
My man.
I know I got it because that nigga ain't going no. Well, let me not say that shit because who knows?
Oh, be careful.
Who knows? Let me
Yeah,
not
gonna be
say
like,
that shit
"Say
because
what?"
you never know.
I will leave the next day.
Right? No.
Bags packed, and you're like, "What's happening?"
I hate
Remember
you,
when you
sucker.
said he ain't going nowhere? Where he gone?
He go. That nigga go. So let me not say that though.
I'll leave you with this though. Believe it or not, I see myself. I want to marry a black woman. She could be mixed with white, whatever. I don't care. It's just a black woman. That's just how I was raised. That's what I was raised to do.
Yeah.
I can imagine. Now, here's the thing: if I met a white woman that was perfect, yes, or a Hispanic woman, I'll marry her, of course. But I'm just saying, I was raised to marry a black woman, and it's kind of makes
maybe
my
it's
stomach
not for you,
tingle
man.
with the thought.
Maybe you should be
Black
with a
woman.
Karen.
Dennis will find him a black woman. Dennis actually needs a black woman. He just doesn't understand he does. Dennis needs a black woman.
I know the difference. It's a big
He
difference.
needs a black woman to level his ass the fuck out.
Named Karen. She
There's
wants
a
to
big
speak
difference
to your
from. There's a
manager.
big difference from the. And I'm talking about like the culture. I want somebody that's. No, I'm just saying, like white women are just different culturally that I just can't get with. Waking up for brunches and freaking, you can't have a day off. Like always trying to find something for you to do, and it's a lot.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong? You know what? I admire some of those things about white women. Let me tell you what I admire about white women. I admire that those women are fucking dedicated to the schedule because my ass ain't dedicated to the motherfucking schedule. Like when I get the fuck up, I get the fuck up. Like period. And let me tell you something, because I don't want to bash and be like white women the same, white women ain't that, because I have a lot of white friends and those women are amazing, and they happen to be married to white men, and some of them are married to black men. And to be honest, the most coolest women I know but some of those chicks are damn crazy. And some of them might just be like, bitch, you sure you're not black? You know? Go be. Matter of fact, let's wrap this the hell up because we're going for 2 hours. All right, guys, because we just got all the way off topic. We were supposed to be talking about other stuff and we were talking about dying stuff. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so we need to make a match profile with Dennis saying he wants to marry Karen, and that the first thing he needs to tell him is, I want to speak to your manager. And then he's going to, I love you.
Shout outs to Amy and Becky.
With the good hair.
Who knows?
Oh my gosh.
Who knows?
I can't stand you guys. All right. So this has been the Lauren Hour podcast. We done got in the thick of it, got messy, and almost choked each other. So guys, be sure to tune in Thursday. So Thursday we'll be talking about a couple of trending topics that we did not hit today. And you will hear us all melt down and tell you guys all of our life stories, okay? But anyways, do not forget to check us out on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you can stream us. We are probably there. Go ahead and check us out. Follow us too. Do not forget to follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So don't just download. Please follow us. We appreciate everyone's support. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And if you're watching us at a later time, thank you just for clicking. We appreciate all the support and love. And let me leave you with something positive. I'm going to leave this with love. So love is love. No matter who you choose, whether they be within your race or outside of your race, as long as they love on you and they treat you right and they are respectful of you and who you are, always lead with love and always choose love. All right, guys. Bye.
I hate black pepper.